Salutations, everybody. Did you enjoy the jazz? I hope you do, because I did. One sec, let me pop up. Here I am. Happy Saturday, everyone, and soon to be happy Icon Fest, and it's already been happy Sukkot for a couple of days. How is everyone doing? I had a cheese raclette today. It was really yummy. I ate a bunch of desserts afterwards, so very nice. And other than that, the weekend has been pretty chill. Not much to say, just a reminder that I am going to attend Icon Fest for all 3 days, and you will be welcome to see me. I will be carried by a big giant, and she'll probably be carrying me around and showing you. And we'll be probably updating my socials, showing some of the images, mostly in my Instagram. Other than that, the amount of followers I have is 31, not 29. So this means that we are getting pretty close to our goal of 50 followers, so let's go. So tell your friends, hopefully this means that I'll be a Twitch affiliate, and I'll have the access, that sweet access to emotes, and probably some other stuff as well. I'm mostly doing it for the emotes at the moment and the clout. And in return, aside from like getting the emotes, you guys will have I will be streaming Honkai Star Rail. It'll give me an incentive to get on that behemoth of a game. I have a bunch of friends who are constantly like screaming about them boot hills and Pentaconis and Aventurines and councils, and a lot of it is a bunch of gibberish. But yeah, I am more than willing to see it. But instead of talking about gachas and what will be, we are going to be continuing our Ace Attorney investigation streams for tonight. One sec. I also want to make sure that I have my chat on, my stream manager. Video producer. There. Stream manager. And I hope you guys will see it. Let's see. So, well, I hope you guys enjoy the game. One sec. Oh, another thing that I need to do, and which I absolutely forgot, is that I'm just gonna do a quick rule update. Because I wanna moderation. Okay, I'm just going to add some rules to the moderation settings. Stream together, quick actions, clip that, raid channel, manage goals, edit stream info, streaming tools, is it? Chat settings. I'm mostly saying that because I want manage moderation settings. There we go. Let's see. Where is the rules? Yeah. And first of all, the main thing that I'm doing is that I am blocking hyperlinks. And the other thing I'm doing is that I want to add some rules. First of all, no self-promotion. If you guys want to talk to me about commissions, then you can just hit me on my Twitter or Instagram or TikTok. I'm also there, but don't do it in the chat. It's really spammy. I'm also gonna, if you want to talk business with me, DM me on Twitter. Next, other thing is no bigotry whatsoever. Any immediate ban. You will be banned immediately. So you better watch your mouth. And that's it. These are the rules I'm adding so far. Hopefully it will show up. If it won't, then I'll just check it later. But now that the unfun part is behind us, and oh my god, I have a bug on my monitor. In my cabin, like I don't know what happened. Maybe it came from like a foreign package, but there's just this colony of gross, disgusting brown bugs. These gross, disgusting brown bugs that are just like crawling everywhere, and they don't do anything, but it's like they're kind of gross and everywhere. One sec, I'm gonna change the game capture to capture Ace Attorney Investigations. And there we go. Also, for those of you who want to watch the newest Dave the Diver episode, in case you missed it, I will be uploading it in the following days. So and I also downloaded it to my PC, which means that even once it's removed from Twitch, it's not gone forever. It will be backed up and uploaded to my YouTube. So yeah, no worries there. And now let's go back to the Ace Attorney Investigations collection. Last time we began Tournament Reminiscence, where everyone's a dick to Dick Gumshoe, and Edgeworth and Franziska are both a menace to society. We had a prosecutor and defendant get murdered mysteriously, and we still don't know who the killer is. People are still suspecting Gumshoe, but we all know that's not the case. And right now we're in the section where Franziska is our investigative partner, for better or for worse. And we are going to investigate the hallway. So, Did you see anything else? And this is Detective Bad, the Gumshoe's cold mentor, but I think he wants to help him out. And the judge, who has been in every Ace Attorney game, he thinks. Other than the prequel and probably the sequel to Investigations, but like he has been there. He has been on most of the series. No, I don't think so. I see. Well, thanks for your cooperation. Oh, it's nothing. Just doing my duty as a defender of the law. That'll be all for now. I'll ask again if I have any other questions. Anytime, Detective. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a few loose ends I have to tie up. Oh, it's the Brat Squad. I mean, oh, you're the new prosecutor Mr. Von Carver recommended, right? My name is Miles Edgeworth, Your Honor. Und I'm Manfred von Karma's daughter, Franziska von Karma. My favorite cases so far are the ones where I get to voice Franziska because she's really fun. She's so fun to voice. I'm set to become the successor to my genius father every day now. Any day now, Your Honor. And every day. I wasn't wrong. If you look at the header character trajectory. I see. Mr. Prosecutor recommended the product. I bit my tongue. Are you alright, Your Honor? Please feel free to refer to me just as Miss Von Karma, Your Honor. As for him, just Edgeworth would be fine. Apparently somebody doesn't feel I'm worthy of the proper title. Yeah, that's kind of her thing in the beginning of her arc. Oh, very well then. I shall call you Miss Von Karma and Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth. Your Honor, Mr. Edgeworth is fine, sir. Now, about your earlier testimony. Yes? What about it, Mr. Edgeworth? I would like to ask you a few questions about exactly what you saw. Alright, after all, it's my duty to clarify my testimony as a defender of the law. I greatly appreciate your cooperation, Your Honor. Now, the first thing I will need to do is figure out that detective's exact movements. Okay, so we have a detective to question. But first of all, I actually want to investigate some of the stuff around here. Let's talk up to the labby. Have you found any suspicious footprints, officer? Nope, just the fingerprints of those involved with the case, sir. I guess we know all the players in this case then, huh? It would appear that way, but I have a nagging feeling we're missing something. And I suspect what we're missing is hiding right here in the crime scene somewhere. What is he looking for? Did you find something, officer? I think there's a $5 bill back there. Come on, just a little more. Is there no one working on this crime scene who isn't a total waste of living tissue? Oh my god. Oh, that's brutal. That's so brutal, Franziska. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a single person we can deem useful here. Unfortunate indeed. It doesn't look like there's anything contradictory left in this area. I suppose not. I should check somewhere else. And let's see. What about the courthouse specials? It would appear that this vending machine sells snacks and various other foods. Okay. Just lovely. What will they think of next? Also, wow, these Swiss rolls are overpriced. All the things they're serving her are super overpriced. Don't be a jerk and caught like these jerks. One packet for $9. Defendant's fresh milk. 1/2 pint for $7. Stay neutral as the Swiss do until the end with these for $6. They're awfully overpriced. Exactly! Why? Why would they make the vending machine so expensive? Is it because they don't have a cafeteria that they can overprice? Is that it? The lineup is simply awful, period. Speaking of snacks, I wonder if that Swiss roll in the Edgeworth is from this machine. I was wondering about that myself. Well, I don't think we have any logic to connect at the moment. Let's investigate some of the lines here. What's the hot dog? When you're in hot water, you might need a hot dog. It looks like the slogan was decided through a public contest. And the winner was Prosecutor Winston Payne. Oh wow, his actual achievement. What a pathetic slogan. No presence at all. Now, if it was up to me, it would read: if you leave matters in Karma's hands, everyone in court will be found guilty dogs. Wow! Wow, the self-promotion in that one.
Objection!
Overrule! No one will stand in Franziska's way. Absolutely no one. Oh, I absolutely forgot that joke. It's so funny. Don't be a jerk. Don't be a jerk late in court like these beef jerks.
Objection!
Miss Edgeworth, wouldn't you agree that it's a very clever pun? Why did you object? Franziska, why? What was the need? Do you really think they put that much effort into the product name? Even a foolish fool can understand the foolish thinking of the fool who made it up. You're acting so foolishly that I got so thoroughly mad and now I'm utterly famished. If you want to speak of these, all you have to do is ask like a normal person. Franziska isn't a normal person, that's the catch. And the ham sandwich. What's the pun with that one? Don't let the prosecution and defense make a ham sandwich out of you. It sounds like it's selected at the helm of a judge. Well, it certainly isn't directed at me. I can outmaneuver him any day. Can you? In what exactly? Okay, and orange juice. $9 for orange juice is so expensive. What the fuck? In this economy? When it's looking bad, blind your opposition with some OJ. Oh, they're promoting violence. Also, there's the unfortunate fact that OJ Simpson. Don't worry, my whip will make sure that anybody following this advice won't be for long. Compared to the sting of the whip, the sting of orange juice may not be so bad. I mean, it's fair. Defendant's fresh milk. What exactly is that supposed to mean? I think they just milk the defendants. I wouldn't get that milk if I were you, Edgeworth. Hey, but it means that the milk is freshly milked by various defendants on trial right now. No, I think it might mean that this was milked right here in front of the various defendants. Miles Edgeworth, you can't possibly be serious! Of course not. And now let's check the Swiss rolls. Stay neutral as the Swiss do until the end of these. The end of what? Well, I assume it means the end of the trial. I suppose this means that that one should eat these during a recess? You can't eat during a trial, so I suppose the only time you can eat them is now, huh? I mean, you can't eat during a trial, but there has been no objection to drinking during a trial. Barack von Zieks drank wine, and Godot has been drinking coffee. I wouldn't mind if you waited to eat one now. They come in packs of 2 after all. We're in the middle of an investigation. Besides, I don't have $6 on me. If you want, we can pool our money and buy a pack together. If I have to split it with you, then I don't want it. This is such little sister behavior. Oh my god, she's so funny. Wow, amazing. She's so funny during this investigation. I forgot how much. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Well, let's begin with this. What is this? It's a pink-colored piece of trash made of rubber. I feel like I've seen something like this before. Well, all I see is a piece of garbage. But you know, the fact that there is still litter running loose inside this courthouse is simply unforgivable. Ah! It's not like It was I who littered. Rubbish belongs in a rubbish bin. Why is she like this? The ants are hard to work carrying their food at home. It's a marvel that they can pick up so much compared with large objects their size. But if you want to carry the mighty von Karma name, do not be squished under it. You'd better work extra hard, just like these ants. The shade! Wow! The same goes for you, Francisca. Man. Okay, let's go down. And we have a handprint and a bunch of ants that are celebrating. The dirt on this bench, it smells like some sort of sweet substance. I can't believe there's someone going around dirtying the courthouse. For shame!
Hold it!
Calm down, Francisca. Now, take a good look. Doesn't this smudge look kind of like a handprint to you? I suppose it could be. Which means that perhaps we can lift the print of the person who sullied this bench. I see. And then we know the identity of our mystery slug. You there, the lab technician. Could you please find out who this handprint belongs to? Sir, yes sir. I've got the results of the fingerprint analysis, sir. And do we know who they belong to? Sir, the fingerprints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Oh, interesting. Good work, officer. And we have his fingerprints. And there you have it. Yes, I suppose so. Now we know the identity of the person who dirtied the bench. Only says that you and I will be using this information in very different ways. Yeah. I mean, can you blame her? I also hate it when people litter. Like, my bad habit is cluttering. My setup right now is extremely cluttered. There is so much documents and knickknacks around, and it should not be there. But, let's look at this. What in the heck are these black speckles? I believe it's a pile of ants eating away. Oh, that detective! He claims not a single ant slipped by him, and yet there's a whole hill of them! Ah! What are you hitting me for? Is there a replacement for that pathetic detective? Perhaps I should add this deduction to the detective's growing tab of pay cuts. No! Anyway, I wonder who the ants are eating. What the ants are eating. Who they're eating? Well, it's definitely not flesh. And look at the sweet smell of it. Pieces of cake from chocolate from Swiss roll. Mine's Edgeworth. The courthouse is to be kept pristine at all times. Oh, it wasn't me that dropped food on the ground. I think that one of my favorite jokes is about to come up. The courthouse must be kept clean. No! That was so funny. If there's something that can be learned from it, it's never piss off of karma. Anyways, vending machine and Swiss roll crumbs. This can be connected, absolutely. These bits of chocolate and cake. Could they not have come from a Swiss roll? A Swiss roll? Why would a courthouse sell a thing like that? It may not seem like the right venue, however, it is being sold right over there. The vending machine, huh, I see. Stay neutral as the Swiss until the end with these. 2 for $6. Talk about expensive. Yeah, we've mentioned that before. Leaving the fact that it's on the expensive side aside, the fact that the cake crumbs and chocolate bits were found in this hallway suggests that they came from the Swiss roll that was purchased from this machine. I think I have a pretty clear picture of what happened here now. Naturally. After all, I'm here, aren't I? Francisca, you... Francisca, you're literally whipping me? And attempting to assert dominance, but sure, you helped. Detective Gumshoe must have sat on this bench as he ate a Swiss roll. And as he ate, he dropped it on the floor and sullied the bench. How could he have not cleaned up after himself? How utterly despicable. Don't you dare whip me again. I wasn't the one who made the mess in the first place. Anyway, if it was indeed Detective Gumshoe who brought the Swiss roll, that creates a rather interesting contradiction of facts. A contradiction? Well... I think another look at the special Croakhouse vending machine is in order. Oh, it's because of the salary! I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Pretty sure I need to inspect the $6. Is this spot connected? Well, considering the fact that the Gumshoe is dirt poor and... Yeah, we had $5 on him. About Detective Gumshoe's finances, he said that until this morning, he didn't even have a single penny on his personage, which is really sad. Just how poor is that guy? If his bonus really was only $5, then he should not have been able to purchase a pack of Swiss rolls. However, facts being as they are, we found cake crumbs on the floor. Meaning Scruffy must have bought a pack somehow. Indeed. The detective should not have been able to purchase a pack, and yet he did. The question is how. Let's talk with the judge now. Your Honor, I'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. Where were you at the time of the murder? Do you suspect me of something? No, nothing of the sort, Your Honor. Very well, you may continue with your testimony. I love... Oh, that was funny. Welcome to the stream. We are currently doing I'm currently streaming Ace Attorney Investigations and doing the funny voiceovers. Francisco's really funny right now. The jokes in this investigation specifically are so funny. Oh! I had no idea you were chasing after me or my testimony. I'm beginning to sense that I might want to avoid being in a trial run by this judge. Well, unfortunately, Edgeworth, you don't have much of a choice. Let's see here. Now, how should I put this? When you get to be my age, you need to pay more frequent visits to the restroom. If you go take a look out the window at the end of this hall, you will see a small window. That is the window that's the men's restroom. In other words, you can see clearly into this hallway from the men's restroom. When I was going into the restroom, that Detective Gumshoe, is it? Well, he was standing in front of the vending machines buying something from it. However, and this I couldn't believe, when I was about to exit the restroom, there was not a soul in the hallway anymore. Your Honor, if you could please calm down and explain to me rationally. Oh, I'm really sorry. Please let me regain my composure. It was really suspicious. But that's what my finely honed judge's intuition said. Unfortunately, that's as suspicious as, that's as rational as he's gonna be. Although, well, until the murderess occurred, I just sort of brushed it off. Apparently this judge doesn't understand the concept of staying calm. That's probably all I'm gonna find from his honor. Mr. Edgeworth, may I return to my other duties now? Yes, I'm sorry to have held you up. Thank you for your cooperation, Your Honor. Anytime, Mr. Edgeworth. Anytime. Okay. This judges in his country seem rather friendly. Yes, and a little wishy-washy. Even his cousin is like that, if I remember correctly. However, I hear that they are known to hand down very fair verdicts. Considering how, high the guilty rates are? I don't know if I'd call that fair, Edgeworth. Let's talk to Detective Bad. Detective Bad, I have something I wish to inquire about. Look at this handsome, handsome man. What a silver fox. Hey, how about doing some actual work, you? I wish to inquire about Detective Gumshoe's movements during the recess. You're getting in the way of the investigation. I have an order from Mr. Von Karma himself. Plus, I still hold investigative authority. Let's talk to Detective Gumshoe first. So I heard you were the one who called for Detective Gumshoe to come down here. Thursday. That guy was just accused. Go. Damn, the caffeine drop is hitting me hard. And I just knew something was gonna happen. My detective's instinct told me. A lot of good it did to you. Like, you couldn't even protect one lone prosecutor with it. Ow! Franziska!
Hold it!
Franziska, I think you need to apologize. Yeah, you probably should. Ugh, I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry, Detective Bad. Please continue. I used the phone on the first floor and called the precinct. I told them to send somebody over, and that detective's the one that showed up. And only upon his arrival did you set Detective Gumshoe to stand guard, Detective Bad. Yeah, I waited for him on the first floor. After he got here, we came up to these defendant lobbies together. As we entered this hallway, we ran into you. I mean, no, not you. She told us that Verde was really mad, and that he dragged her out of the lobby number 2 to have a word or something. And that Verde had said to not let anyone interrupt them. So what choice did I have? All I could do was tell the big lug to stand guard outside. Around that time, around what time did it all take place? Let's see, I think it was about 30 minutes before I heard the gunshot. After giving the big lug of his assignment, he never left the hallway, not once. Oh, and how can he make such a claim? One of the guards in this floor's main lobby swore to me that he did it. If the detective never left the hallway, then where did he disappear off to? That's simple. He must have gone into lobby number 2, just as I suspected. You and I went... Not you. You. And I were in lobby number 1, exit door, next door. And the only one without an alibi is Gumshoe. It would seem that I'm still missing some key pieces of information. Let's talk about the gunshot. Deputy Bad, you also heard the gunshot, did you not? Yeah. I heard it was when I defended lobby number 1. And that's why I came running towards lobby number 1 together with you. You. Me. No. You. Miss you. You don't... How can you miss me? I've only been gone for a minute. Oh, moving on. How much time elapsed between you hearing the gunshot and your arrival to the scene? Less than a minute. What were your movements upon hearing the gunshot? I grabbed a big lug who was just walking around in the hall, and raced into lobby number 2. And that's when we discovered the bodies. In that order. That makes you the discoverer of the crime scene, right? Yeah, I guess it does, little miss. I am about to become a prosecutor very soon! Which is canon, by the way. She did become a prosecutor at age 13. You will treat me with the dignity I deserve, or else! You better wave that thing around anymore. And I'll have you arrested for obstruction, little miss. You wouldn't dare! Just joking. Yeah, that was definitely not something she was thrilled to have been laughed about. After that is really something if you can make Franziska behave. Are we about done? Is there anything else we should ask him about? Where did you hear the gunshot from? Detective Bad, where were you when you heard the gunshot? How many times are you going to ask that? I was in defender lobby number 1 when I heard the gunshot. It's exactly the same as what he said earlier when I asked. Now get out of here. You're getting in my way.
Hold it!
I'm not through questioning you yet. Is there anything else I should ask him about? How about the situation? What was the time? I'd like to ask if you could tell me for the exact time you heard the gunshot. It was around the end of the recess, and the trial was about to start again, I think. He was supposed to make time for himself to transfer the evidence he was holding. When I got the sense he wasn't gonna show for the handoff. So I figured I should go get him or he'd be late. And just as I thought that, bang, the sound of a gunshot hit my eardrums. So we heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to restart, huh? This is hopeful testimony. Are we done here? I don't think I have any time to waste.
Hold it! Oh, come on! All you're doing is standing in front of the door doing nothing.
The tact on this lady. Absolutely gone. Absolutely non-existent. I get the sense that he's someone investigating this crime scene. Or rather, he's keeping us under surveillance. But to what end? Detective Bad, may I ask you to cooperate with us for just a bit longer? I don't have anything else to say to the two of you. You guys were the ones who said you wanted to investigate the first place.
Fine then, be obstinate. We'll just do as we please. Come on, Miles.
You may no longer be willing to help us, however. May I ask for the forensic scientist's cooperation? Do as you like. Okay, we got our testimony for him. Let's go back. Any logic we can connect? I don't think so. I think we'll need to... Maybe there is something we missed here. Okay, let's check this. So that window on the other side belongs to the men's restroom. I can't see it. But you're right, I'm not surprised. Ugh. You deserve that, Edgeworth. Ugh. I guess short people have feelings too. No! They sure do, Edgeworth. They really do. Wow, the brat area on this guy is strong. Ugh. What's the matter? I pricked myself in one of these cactus's needles. I don't think the needles on this thing would be so sharp. Well, what did you expect? Can you imagine how bad it would be if you were hit on the head with one of these? Anyway, this cactus seemed to be unrelated to our case. Do you really think so? Because I believe that this cactus sitting on the windowsill is completely related.
Oh, well then I look forward to your explanation on how exactly it is related.
And we'll need to do a logic in order to do that. Pink piece of trash, the windowsill cactus. Rubber object got exploded by cactus. This pink rubbery substance. I saw this in different form earlier today. I believe this is a piece of a puffed balloon.
I suppose that's possible.
The balloon probably got a little too close to our friend, the windowsill cactus.
That would be the logical conclusion, yes.
And the investigation is complete, and our health is refilled. I believe now I have a very thin grasp on what happened here. And before we're going to continue, I'm gonna take a quick break to go to the bathroom and get myself some water. The judge was right. I'll be back in a bit. And we're back. I just got myself a quick dinner. I got myself a sandwich, with cream cheese and some herbs. Yeah. Well, also I'm breathing intensely now because I went up the stairs in my cabin. Yeah. So given I'm still on break, I'm just eating my sandwich. Okay. Now we can continue. I believe now I have a very firm grasp on what happened here. Well, I do too. Alright, Francisca, would you care to share what conclusions you've come to? Why should I do that? We're still in the middle of a competition, you know. This girl. You can pack so much, you can pack so much of an inferiority complex in this girl, I swear to God. Perfectionism and parental abuse. You can pack so much in this 13-year-old child. Oh, okay. I'm eating my last bite, and Francisco once again being really funny. We should be checking to see if your conclusions are wrong first, so you go ahead. It's almost cute that she's going this far to ensure that she wins. Almost. Very well, but first we need to pay his honor a visit to correct his testimony. Cross-examination time. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to test your witness testimony, now to see how it stands up. Do you really doubt me? Am I your suspect? In a sense, I suppose you could say that. Even you, a judge. I had nothing but a common witness before I won karma. Silence in the courtroom! Silence, I say! Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by man from Gunfire and genius prosecutor. Ah! You bit your tongue again, didn't you? As a defender of the law, I could never give false testimony. You can even place me under oath if you want. Very well then, your testimony if you please. What did they see in recess? During the recess, I went to the restroom. There was a window on the hallway side. In other words, I could see into the hallway. As I entered, I saw the detective buying something from the vending machines. When I was about to exit the restroom, he had completely disappeared. Detective goes missing while on duty. That sounds mighty suspicious to me. Your Honor, can you please try to remain calm? Oh! I'm so used to simply listening to testimonies that I got caught up in the excitement. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to spoil your fun now. Okay. During the recess, he went to the restroom. There is a window in the hallway side. In other words, I could see into the hallway. As I entered, I saw the detective buying something from the vending machines.
Hold it!
Your Honor, did you really go into the men's restroom? What is the meaning of that statement? I simply meant that perhaps you went to a restroom of a different floor. I had to go for such a long time. It was all I could do to dash the closest one into the courtroom. I suppose that's only natural given his circumstances. I ran from the courtroom through his floor's main lobby and down the hallway. Once you enter, you can see there's a window just above the urinals. By the way, this is gonna be a bit TMI, but getting older does mean you have to go to the bathroom more. I noticed that myself, and I remember that, like, sometimes I just wake up earlier than I do in, like, the middle of the night to go take a piss, and I did not need to do that in previous years, like when I was younger. And I remember I told this to my dad, who is much older, and he told me, "Oh yeah, I get to do that as well." And that, I felt like I aged in that one, after that one conversation. It was through that window that you witnessed Detective Gumshoe, Your Honor. Yes, exactly! Your Honor, there's no need to yell, I can hear you just fine. Oh, I guess I put a little too much of that last answer. Now then, let's continue with the testimony. As I entered, I saw a detective buying something from the vending machines.
Hold it!
Are you sure the person who witnessed was Detective Gumshoe, Your Honor? Yes, I'm absolutely sure. It's hard to miss someone of his stature, even from far away as the restroom. Not the courtroom. Besides, I can't think of anyone else with that kind of hairstyle and that big beige coat. It's gonna be olive green by the end of it. Well, I was simply wondering if you were mistaken in what you saw. What? Preposterous! My eyes are as sharp as can be, ready to see through the lies to the truth. Although recently things do seem to be a bit fuzzier than they used to be. Clearly his eyes are not one of the only things that have gotten fuzzy. But allow me to say that with all the honor and dignity of this judge, I am not mistaken what I saw. But when I was about to exit the restroom, he had completely disappeared.
Hold it!
Didn't he just sit down? But Your Honor, didn't you just say I saw the detective buying something from the vending machines? Why, yes I did. The restroom window looked to the courtyard and right into the hallway. But as I was about to exit, I took another look and there was no one in sight. And that led me to the only solution to this mystery. A detective must have gone to the crime scene, number 2 at the point! Wow. So he looked in the hallway for the restroom and over the courtyard, did he? He's so shocked about everything. Anyways, we have our proof. He didn't disappear, he just sat down. What was that finger wag for, Mr. Edgeworth? And don't you know it's rude to shout objection while someone is giving testimony? Huh. Aren't you used to it by now, Your Honor? You truly are a man of the law, then you must always be vigilant. For example, I never let an opportunity to shout objection pass me by. Nice, Edgeworth. It's one thing to be passionate about your job, but this is real life. This is what some people would say is the pot calling the kettle black. Franziska is... She's just trying to win. Don't take it too harshly. Your Honor, I wonder if you might take a look at this for me. What is that filth? How dare someone dirty the hallway bench like that? Who is the culprit? That party is hereby found guilty of uncleanliness. If you must know the uncouth bench, If you must know, the uncouth bench soldier has already been placed under arrest thanks to your earlier testimony, Your Honor. Oh, well, that's good. But who is it? We were able to discover something from the smudge on the bench. Namely, Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints. Not happy with committing just murder, he had to go to dirty courthouse too. Guilty! Your Honor, please calm down. He won't. While it's true that the detective is the one who made the mess to the bench, we have not yet established that this action is related to the double murder. What do you mean? I believe that the detective bought a pack of Swiss rolls from the vending machine, and then promptly sat down on the bench to eat one. The cake crumbs and pieces of chocolate on the floor are under the bench, and Detective Gumshoe's fingerprints prove my conclusions to be true. Oh, but I still don't understand. Isn't this whole thing related to how I couldn't see him as I was leaving the restroom? It is indeed. The window in the hallway was built rather high up into the wall, at around the grown adult's chest height. As evidence, I submit that Franziska herself was unable to see out of the window. God fucking damn it, Edgeworth, you're such a dick! Whip him. You go, girl! No! I knew I shouldn't have used her height as evidence. You deserved it. But basically, what this means is that the area directly under the hallway window is a blind spot where the hallway was being viewed from the men's restroom. Then... It seems that you have made the connection. If someone were to sit on the bench under the window... Yes, even someone as large as Detective Gumshoe would be effectively disappear from sight. What? Do you finally see, Your Honor? Your testimony has just proven that Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway the entire time. Ah, sorry. I didn't need to say with that much enthusiasm. All I wanted to do was try saying it once. Here, let me try that again. Hold it! Such a doofus. Oh, Your Honor. Is there something of value you'd like to say? Yes, actually there is. I remembered something else just now. Mr. Edgeworth, please allow me to testify to the court once more time. Even if overruled him, he'd just keep on talking, wouldn't he? That might not be a bad thing. The more info, the better, the perfect investigation, right? What he saw part number 2. I suppose it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom window. However, that doesn't mean the detective was sitting there when I looked. Anyway, I forgot to testify earlier about the probably most important detail. As I was leaving the bathroom, I heard the loud bang of a gunshot. How was that? That is the testimony of one who judges the crimes of others. Your Honor, could you try to state the important facts first next time?
I agree. Before you go around judging others, you should learn to judge your own words.
Here, I'm sorry. But honestly, I thought it would sound just was a noise popper until now. Now he mentions it right before we started trial. He did talk about that. Oh boy. By the way, was there someone celebrating a birthday during the recess? I could have sworn that I heard a popper going off. Come to think of it, the other day with my grandson. The most critical point of this argument is when did the judge look in the hallway? And whether it lines up with the gun that was actually fired. Your Honor, if I may, I'd like to clarify a few details in your testimony. I'm guessing that we have to press 10%. I suppose it's possible that you can't see a seated person from a restaurant window. However, it doesn't mean the detective was sitting there when I looked. Anyway, I forgot to testify earlier, probably the most important detail. Let's press this. Your Honor, about what you just about said. I know! I couldn't believe it myself! Bang! The gunshot! The window was loud and clear, and I had easier and then, like this! Just like this! With a quick ah! I could not catch at least half of the words, but I tried my best. Your Honor, please remain calm when you're trying to explain yourself to me. Yes, sir! Sorry about that. How many thoughts are going on in this senile man's head? Now then, I must gather myself. Yes. When I heard the gunshot, there was no one in the hallway. I should know. I looked. There was no one there. This judge's emotional circuits appear to be stuck on overreact. Yep.
At this point, nothing stands out to me as a contradiction in his testimony.
Francisco, if I'm correct, this testimony is highly precision and quality.
I know that. And that's why I said at this point.
I think my first line of attack would be to draw more information from his Honor. Well, let's try pressing the statements. In that case, you can see that you are confident in your last testimony. Man, my pronunciation is shit. Now, hold on there. I just said it's possible you can't see a seated person from the restroom at this time. But you know something? I don't think you know when the prints were referenced or left on that bench, do you? Ugh. Not any good, Edgeworth. Well, you have proven to me that it's possible the detective was sitting. I still have a problem with just those fingerprints that were left. He's right, I have yet to prove the fingerprints were left on that bench. When he feigns ignorance, his Honor seems to have a lot of life. This judge, we mustn't underestimate him. Hello, welcome to the stream. We are currently streaming Criminal Reminiscence. And, right now His Honor is giving us testimony about what he saw. Let's, continue pressing.
Hold it!
So, right now I'm trying to press the statements to get more information from that testimony. As we established, you went to the restroom during the recess. However, at what point in the recess did you look into that hallway? After I called for a recess, I handled a change of prosecutor paperwork. You got 20 minutes until recovery? Yes, sounds about right. Just as I expected. What were you expecting? And I demand to know what that all-knowing smile is for. Your Honor, that statement you just made now is very important. I'd like for you to append it to your testimony. Alright, if you insist. Let's see, I looked at the hallway about 20 minutes before we were to reconvene.
Objection!
Yeah, there is a gap in time here. I cannot allow you to make an objection. What? Your Honor, I'm really sorry, but I cannot allow you to not allow me to make an objection. Gads, I've been overruled! He's been overruled even out of court. Skill issue. Your Honor, there's simply too many holes in your testimony for my taste. What do you mean by that? You claim that you heard the gunshot during the recess, but that is simply not possible. Mr. New Prosecutor recommended by Manfred from... Ah! Instead of biting your tongue, why don't you bite your... Wait, what did you say? Instead of biting your tongue, why don't you bite your tongue on those preposterous names? There we go, he says the eek. I see you have no mercy for the elderly either, Franziska. Don't talk back to me unless you want to be whipped in the back. With your height, you need a stepladder before to accomplish that. Listen, according to the sprites, she's not that short. She isn't. I'm gonna look up how tall she is in the Ace Attorney Wiki. I have to see how short she is in this one. I am... Just how much? How tiny is she? There she is. How short was she? Okay, 162 centimeters. It's probably how short she is back in... This is probably how short she... This is probably her height. Oh, I see. So during Turn of Reminiscence, according to the Ace Attorney Wikia, she has been 149 centimeters. Wow, extremely tiny. Like, the sprites make her this height, so she will stand, that she will still be visible. But wow, she is extremely small. I'm taller than Franziska when she was 13. And I'm relatively short. Ahem, Mr. Edgeworth. My ears are not that far gone yet, I'll have you know. I can still hear just fine. And I heard the sound of a gunshot loud and clear with my own 2 ears. Huh. Your Honor, I have here an interesting bit of testimony. It's from Detective Bad. And according to him, he heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to start again. What did you just say? Your Honor, you just said that you heard the gunshot about 20 minutes before you were about to reconvene. How do you explain this glaring contradiction? That can't be! Unfortunately, that is the truth. But I heard it as clear as day. Bang! The loud sound of a gunshot. The sound of a gunshot would keep returning to this point of contention. And that piece of evidence, I always did wonder why I found it where I did. However, now I understand that the gunshot what the judge heard really was. Unfortunately, Your Honor, this is what really produced the gunshot you heard. It's the balloon piece.
Take that!
I found this object in the hallway earlier. What is that pink substance? It may not look it, but it is actually a piece of a balloon. I see. I suppose you would like me to accept that pink balloon in the court record. Fucking... Oh my god, the evidence noises. This case is so funny. Like, I've been laughing so much right now. This is a good case. Your Honor, I present this piece of evidence in order to overrule your testimony. What? Your Honor, your argument goes as follows. You saw no one in the hallway when you heard the gunshot. Now there is no guarantee that the detective was sitting on the bench at the time. Therefore, you believe it must have been the crime scene, detective lobby number 2. Am I correct? Yes, that's exactly right. Let me ask you something. Do you really think that the gunshot you heard was produced by a real gun? I think I've said enough to even you can figure the rest out on your own. Your Honor, you were fooled by the popping of this balloon into thinking it was a gunshot. What manner of trickery is this? That was a good effort you put forth, Miles Edgeworth. But if it was me, I'd have wrapped this thing up before the judge even testified. Care to elaborate on how that ends something before it even begins? Well, to be honest, I did think that sound was a bit off from real gunshot sound. Who could have guessed that someone would pop a balloon in a place like this? That's true. One doesn't usually think balloons in conjunction with courthouse.
I want to trade these coins with you.
That's it. That balloon that girl was holding, it explains everything. Your Honor, if it makes you feel any better, you don't lie once in your testimony. However, I can't really vouch for its accuracy. Who knew that giving testimony could be such a difficult thing to do? Considering how many wrong testimonies are in this game? Oh, Kiana! I'm catching up with the streams before I'm going. I love the investigations OST. I'm gonna read out loud and I'm gonna continue. Mobile Twitch is weird. I had your stream up, but it was playing a different stream in the background. I was so confused and wondered if you had a host, why they weren't mentioning the title or Half an Avatar wall. Mobile Twitch is weird. She'd be in text box. I love the investigations OST. Yeah, no, the investigations OST is like probably my top 5 OSTs of all time. What I like is that like a lot of the main investigation suites, not just the unique tracks, like they have this feeling that they have nocturnal feeling. They feel like an investigation deep in the night. And like what I like is that the soundtrack really helps capture Edgeworth's vibe. Even though I like a lot of, I don't like any of the soundtracks in Ace Attorney. But this one I like because it's very, like it manages to capture a very specific tone. I think that if there is a soundtrack that I don't like, that She'd Be in the text box with reference to how short she is, and her sprites were so tall she's visible. Yeah, okay, I get it now. Yeah, she'd be the size of the text box, and it would not be nice. My headcanon is that like she's doing what happens. She's doing what happens in the the first Ace Attorney game, where some defendants stand on boxes. So like this entire time, Franziska carries a box with her, and then like when it's time to go into the zoom in, like you see the box. I mean, I was like 13-inch heels standing on tippy toes. Absolutely. I will say that Franziska at 19 is taller than me than a few centimeters. She's petite and pissed and papiste. That's the term. What have I done? I owe Detective Gumshoe a very, very big apology. I will see to it myself that he's released. Wait. There are still a few things I have yet to resolve about what happened in the hallway. Your Honor, I request your permission to further question Detective Gumshoe. But why? I thought we just cleared his name. Whether we did or not, I still cannot say. The only thing I can know for now is that to continue my quest for the perfect explanation. And to that end, I must resolve the remaining issues pertaining to the events that occurred in the hallway. Very well. Bailiff, please bring Detective Gumshoe into the courtroom. I must fulfill my mission and find a perfect explanation for this case. And here he is. The gumshoe. The shoe on the gum. What is it now? Is it time for my trial already? I've already told you a gazillion times, pal. I didn't do it. I'll be the judge of that, Detective Gumshoe. Now you want. I be the judge of that. No. I'm the judge around here, and I'll be the judge of that. Kiana, like, you gotta. This case is probably my favorite just because of how funny it is. Like, this is probably the funniest case. I don't know if in this series, but like this entire segment of the case is just super funny. Why can't you guys be a little less judgmental? Yes, but speaking of hasty judgments, Detective Gumshoe, I'm afraid I must apologize for erring my judgment on my part. Oh yeah, this is my favorite Ace Attorney Investigations case. Yeah, It used to be my favorite case back in the day as well. I just think it's funny. And the interactions are great. Just a lot of good characters, and again, there's a lot of things to criticize and critique about Ace Attorney Investigations, but it does fan service really well. And like seeing young Franziska and Edgeworth interacting is excellent fan service and really good character, and really good fleshing out of their characters. Their dynamic is really funny. Because on one hand, Edgeworth doesn't deserve to be Franziska's whipping boy, but sometimes he deserves it. You have yet to provide he is completely innocent in his crime. I guess so. Huh? What are you guys talking about? In any case, I would like you to testify as your actions while you were on guard duty. And please remember you are not on trial. This is all just a part of the investigation. As such, you may still be found to be innocent. However, if you should give this false testimony... Yo! My VIP will object, loud and clear! If you are found to be lying, you will be held indefinitely. Understood? I got you, pal. Thinking back to the state of the crime scene and the judge's testimony, it's obvious that Detective Gumshoe is lying. And I can't break his lie. If I can't break his lie, then we may never get the break in this case. I came down here in the courtroom on Detective Bad's orders. As soon as I got here, you ordered me to stand guard in front of lobby number 2. From that time on, until I reached the gunshot, I was in that hallway the whole time. On my honor as a detective, I swear it wasn't me, pal. He's still singing the same tired tune. In that case, I'll just have to change the melody. I know he's lying and it's some cold information I need out of him. Pretty sure this is the only time in the investigations duology you cross-examine Gumshoe. In the trilogy, I was about to say like in the sequel games, but he's only in the trilogy and the spin-offs. This is the only time in the spin-offs that you cross-examine Gumshoe. I came down here to this courthouse on Detective Bad's orders. As soon as I got here, you ordered me to stand guard in the lobby number 2. From that time on until I heard the gunshot, I was in the hallway the whole time.
Hold it!
Press. You claim to have been in this hallway the whole time. However, this is not a fact you did... Is it not the fact you did something while you were in the hallway? Of course I did something. I guarded the door close to number 2, pal. What else? Very well then. What exactly does guarding that door entail? Oh, well, to put it simply... Oh, I know. It was my job to stand in front of the door without moving an inch. Oh. Detective Gumshoe, you mean to tell me that you didn't take a single step away from the door to lobby number 2? Is that really what you wish to testify to the effect of? You got it, pal. I didn't take a single step away from that door, just like I was ordered not to. And they're not buying it. This, even in the explanation store, this doesn't catch a fair price. Why is everyone so quiet all of a sudden? Because we're all in shock and in awe of your utter stupidity. Scruffy, you're going to lie. At least tell us a more believable one. Ouch! But I'm not lying. Ace Attorney would be such a short series if people were punished for lying under oath. It's true. It's true, though. I should hurry up and bring this insipid testimony to a close. Until I heard the gunshot, I didn't take a single step away from the... Okay. Well, what does this tell you? I have an objection. What is it, pal? Detective Gumshoe, I wonder if you might recognize this from someone. Hey, it's one of those things. The courthouse special Swiss rolls, right, pal?
Precisely. In that case, I suppose that you also recall the solid hallway bench.
Hey, you know what? I think it was probably me that did that. Detective Gumshoe, you know you can't go around dirtying up the courthouse like this.
You inconsiderate, slovenly pig!
I promise I'll clean it up later, I swear!
Now then, shall we get down to business? About the fact you didn't move in a single step, even from in front of that door. If that was really the case, then how were you able to buy a pack of Swiss rolls? Furthermore, if you didn't move a single step from that front door, how did you manage to get the bench dirty with your grubby hands?
Huge!
It appears that Francis's whip can do more damage than words alone can.
Alright. I confess, pal. I was hungry, so I bought a pack for myself, okay? I thought I'd get chewed out again if anyone found out about me eating on the job. So I didn't want to say anything. Well, unfortunately for you, I saw you do the whole dastardly deed.
Welcome to the stream. We are currently streaming Ace Attorney Investigations. Stick around, we are getting to the funny parts.
Okay, I'm sorry for lying. But that's all I'm sorry for, you got that? Because I'm not holding anything else back.
That last statement. It may sound like it makes sense. However, there is something I don't quite believe about it. Are you sure you're not withholding further information from us?
Huh? Of course not. I've got nothing else to hide, pal.
Objection!
If only it was that true, Detective Gumshoe.
But it is true, pal. I swear there's nothing else.
Detective Gumshoe, I'm sure you are aware of the price of a pack of Swiss rolls, correct?
Remind me again, pal?
That vending machine out in the hallway. He's selling packs of 2 Swiss rolls for $6 a pack.
Which is hella expensive. Not even my art school sold. Not even the university I attended sold Swiss vending machine pastries for such an expensive price.
And yet, according to you, you didn't have any cash on you until you cashed out your $5 annual bonus check. Isn't that right? Let me ask then. How did you manage to purchase a pack all by yourself? Can you provide me with a proper explanation to that?
I told you I bought it by myself, pal. There wasn't anyone else in the hallway with me. So there's no one who could have helped me buy it. Wait, don't tell me. You've got some kind of proof that there was someone else in the hallway, don't you?
Correct.
As if you could. I mean, what are the chances of that? Wait, you do?
Of course I do.
What? How?
All of his brain cells went on vacation. Wow. What proof do I have that there must have been someone else in the hallway?
The balloon.
Take that!
What the heck is that? I knew you didn't really have anything in front of you. It was all the same, always lying to people. You should stop, you know. Just stop lying. Ugh. I refuse to be lectured by likes of you, detective.
Miles, how long are you planning being strung along by this moronic detective?
As soon as I present the right piece of evidence is when. I'm just gonna be saving. I have no intention of falling for his lie because there was definitely a second person. Because if he was truly alone, then that piece of evidence should not exist. What proof do I have there must have been someone else in the hallway? I'm guessing the Swiss rolls.
Take that!
Hey, you showed that to me 2 seconds ago, pal.
I think you're under the mistaken impression that I bought this pack of rolls.
Wait, if you didn't buy it, then that means you must have stolen it, you thief! Well, I would never do such a thing. All you liars are the same. You start out as thieves. You're under arrest, pal.
I believe you meant to assert that all thieves start out as liars. If that's the case, what does that say about you, detective?
Yeah.
This particular Swiss roll was dropped by a certain someone.
Oh,
There were 2 worlds in this package. You ate one of them, but you then gave the other one to a certain other person, didn't you? No, wait, pal. You got it all wrong. I ate both of them. There she comes again. He held her by the hand. It's Kay! It would appear that we've caught you at last. Hey, don't you dare do anything bad to that girl. It would appear that they do know each other after all. So why do you continue to come up and kick me? Have I wronged you somehow?
I have a name, and it's Kay. Wow, that was not a good delivery. I have a name, and it's Kay.
Kay what?
Kay Faraday.
Faraday? Are you perhaps Mr. Faraday's daughter?
I'm not a you. I'm Kay.
Yeah, and you is not in the room right now. Okay, you know, good little girls don't kick other people. Especially not hard enough to leave a big nasty bruises like the way you do.
Well, then you shouldn't have put the Gummy under arrest, mister.
Gummy? My guess is that she's talking about Detective Gumshoe.
What a cute nickname you've given him. Gummy didn't do anything wrong.
Okay. It appears that I will need to speak with her in a bit more detail. Roar! Look at her, she's raring to go. She's really raring to fight me. Now then, Kay. Was Kay a warrior cat's kid? Because she's making a lot of animalistic onomatopoeia. I can see her doing that. That or the Naruto, or the kids that do Naruto running around school. She's like a sty cat. Oh, warrior cat kid. Thank you, Franziska. I wonder if I should feed her something like a cat.
Take that!
You can also get penalized for getting the wrong one. Okay, I promise to give it to you if you calm down.
Oh, a Swiss roll.
It really belongs to you, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was saving it for Daddy. No.
No. I feel being called out being a warrior's kid. I also hiss. Oh, wow. Wow, Gamer4, I'm surprised. Not that I have anything against that. One of my good friends, I have other good friends who are warrior cat kids, and warrior cat kids have promoted the animation scene on YouTube a lot. Like, and they also know how to animate cats. Probably better for many of us. Oh, but look at Kay, she's twiddling her thumbs. I'm pretty sure you heard me hiss before on VC. Maybe. You know, I sometimes hiss myself. Like, I did it once when my friends pissed me off, but I don't do it, on habit. But it is, like, sometimes something that happens. Either way, Kay is absolutely the kid that does RPs in Reese's classes. It's really in character. Oh my. Your father, he's... Don't you say another word, pal. She doesn't know yet.
Thanks for watching for out for me, Gummy. But I already know about Daddy. I overheard the guards talking. No, about how he's not here anymore.
Man, my heart is breaking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I couldn't protect him. Okay.
I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna...
No! Oh man, what a poor baby! Aww. She's so sad. It's alright, let it out. Your father just passed away after all. I myself was also involved in a case at this courthouse when I was a young child. A case in which my father, who was a defense attorney, passed away. Ooh, the parallels! Look at them go! All of my dreams of becoming a lawyer were crushed into fine ash on that nightmare's day. Even now, the wound festers deep into the depths of my soul. Ever since that incident, I've dedicated myself to locking away every criminal I can. Edgeworth has always been protective to kids. It's true. I think he wasn't that bad. I mean, I don't remember. How did he act towards Cody Hackins? It has, like, I'm asking a really, I'm asking a very specific question, but I want to know. And now, to have this happen right in front of me. And as this child, I feel a certain shared fate, a common bond between us. Miles Edgeworth, what sort of gentleman are you? Are you going to just stand there and watch a lady cry? Yeah, okay. Edgeworth is protective of kids. Franziska is just protective of women and girls. Franziska is a girl's girl. Oh, you're right. Sorry about that. Okay, how about we use this handkerchief here to dry your little eyes? He was sympathetic and tired, tried to reduce stress because he knows how traumatizing it is can be testified to a kid. I don't remember that, but good for him. Thank you for being the game encyclopedia as always. It's really helpful. Honk! No! My cravat! Don't blow my nose on that!
I feel better now. Thanks.
Is it really that bad, Franziska? It looks like the girl is finally calmed down. Yes, I believe I can take my time and talk with her now. So disrespectful for a child like that to be running around the courthouse. Does no one has respect to this country's judicial system anymore? Didn't Mr. Concalma did exact say thing earlier? But Franziska, I don't think you two are that far apart in terms of age. I'm about to become a prosecutor, so understand that I'm nothing like this little girl. Oh my god, she's so painfully 13. Let's talk to the baby. Okay, are you going to be alright?
Yep, I'm already alright.
Somehow I highly doubt that, but I'm not going to push it.
I promise, Daddy, I never cry in front of strangers.
Ah, yes. You're a good kid, aren't you, Kay? You always keep your promises, right?
That's right. Even if I can't see Daddy anymore, I'm going to keep all my promises.
You're a very brave girl, Kay. You're a very good child for keeping the promises you made to your papa. I'll even testify that you didn't cry, just for you.
Thank you very much, lady.
Huh, it's nothing. I'm only telling the truth, after all. It would appear that because of her father was a respected prosecutor, Franziska is sympathetic to Kay's feelings. Okay, what kind of person was your father?
Daddy was a hero of justice. His job was to catch all the bad people in the world.
So, to you, a prosecutor is a hero of justice, huh? I suppose we are in a sense, as we are the ones who seek guilty verdicts for criminals.
Plus, you know what? Whenever I came to the courthouse, Daddy would buy me my absolute favorite treat, Swiss rolls,
which are overpriced. Oh.
I want to be a hero of justice someday, just like Daddy. So I've been working really hard.
I see. And what do you have been working hard on?
I've been working hard to keep all my promises Daddy and I made together.
It's the promise notebook. The promise notebook. May I take a look inside, Kay?
Sure, okay.
It appears to be an exchange diary of some sort between father and daughter. Mr. Faraday's writing conveys a sense of the kind man he was. The kind of man he was. This little notebook just might come in handy later. No, let's look inside. The crying, it just kind of broke me. She's so sad. Thank you for showing it to me, Kay. I also just have a soft spot for kids. I think, Kay's promises to Daddy. Promise 1, never take things from a stranger. Promise 2, never go away with anywhere with a stranger.
Then why did she go with Gumshoe? Promise 3. Always greet people with a smile, even those you don't know. He also was the one. Oh, it's true! That is true. Honestly, I almost forgot about that. Turnabout Samurai Edgeworth. Just to catch up with this with chats. Turnabout Samurai Edgeworth. The prosecution has a concern. As our witness is a grade schooler of 10 years as a murder case, we worry that the defense might cause unnecessary trauma with this cruel questioning. However, we have no choice. The prosecution called Cody Hackins to the stand. You know, now that you mention it, it does show sympathy, but it also kind of shows like a bit of a jab towards Phoenix. A justified one, perhaps. Yep. Promise 5. Always try your hardest to learn about things you don't understand. Daddy's job is to make sure that everyone follows the rules. Okay, be a good girl and promise to me you'll keep your promises to me, okay? Love, your daddy. Aw. So cute. I hope you'll continue to work hard and become a hero just like your father.
I'm gonna try.
Hey, Chaos, I'm a detective who catches the bad people, right? That makes me a hero too.
Yeah, you're really cool too, Gummy.
Yeah, aren't I, Kay? What is with the two of them? I hand down verdicts of justice, that makes me a hero too. Yes, and thanks to your oh-so-heroic testimony, you almost painted the detective as a vile criminal and sent him off to jail. I'm really sorry about that.
Gummy's not a bad man, okay?
That poor judge is being treated like a vile criminal rather than a hero of justice. It appears that you and Detective Gumshoe are good friends, Kay?
Yeah, we're friends.
In that case, would you mind telling me a little more about him? So I take it you run into Detective Gumshoe earlier.
Yep. I was on my way to see Daddy when I saw Gummy standing there. He was standing in the hallway, staring really hard into the vending machine, so I said hi.
And when was this?
Oh, before everything got crazy.
How long were the two of you together?
We only talked for a little while, and then we went on our own ways.
That's right, pal. Kay and I only talked for a little while, that's it. Oh, which means we have now confirmed that Kay was in the hallway during the recess, isn't that right? Ah, you got me!
I told you to stop picking Gummy, mister!
Very well then. He also asked the judge if Cody could keep the camera. Yeah, that's cute. That's very these are like small things that help Edgeworth not come off as a total dick. Okay, Swiss rolls. Were you the one who brought this pack of Swiss rolls, Kay?
Well, I didn't really have a lot of money. And I somehow made $1 out of all the pennies and quarters I had. But that still wasn't enough, and I really wanted one.
Come to think of it, she did come and ask me to exchange a handful of change for $1. And that's when we came and asked me to change your money, correct?
Yeah, thanks a bunch for doing that, mister.
Sure. But let me ask you, even with that $1, you still didn't have enough, correct?
Well, that's why...
Hey, if you bully Kay anymore, I'm gonna have to arrest you, pal. Need I remind you that you're the one already under arrest? Yo! I sense that Kay is going to be less than forthcoming with the question.
Sorry about your roughly thing.
Oh. Yes, well now it's positively drenched in your nasal mucus. Don't worry, Kay, I have a spare. So here, you can have this one.
But Daddy said, never take things from a stranger.
Ah, it's one promises you made in your promise notebook, correct?
Yeah, look, see? It's right there on this page.
Alright then, I'm not giving this to you. I'm merely allowing you to borrow it. You can also take it home and wash it nice and clean and then give it back to me next time we meet.
Okay, Daddy never said I couldn't borrow things from strangers.
There's a loophole. Now then, Detective Gumshoe. Uh-oh. I believe it is now crystal clear.
that you were with a little K in that hallway.
I told you to stop being mean to Gummy.
Welcome to the stream. We are currently streaming Ace Attorney Investigation from Miles Edgeworth. And now she's gonna ask me something. Miles Edgeworth, is there something you have yet to resolve? There is something you have yet to resolve. I beg your pardon? You still have an off-the-top explanation as for why that man would lie to us. That's, well...
Gummy, don't tell me you lied for my sake.
Hey, don't worry about it, Kay. Everything's gonna be okay. Ah, so that's why. See, so, what was Detective Gumshoe's motive for lying? If you can't explain that, then you can't call this perfect... You can't call this a perfect investigation. His reason for lying is very simple. What? Here is what I believe to be his reason. From simple observation of Detective's actions and his interactions with Kay, it's obvious that Detective Gumshoe was lying for the young girl's sake. And this piece of evidence will show you exactly why. Which piece of evidence proves that Detective Gumshoe was lying on account of Kay? I'm guessing it's the balloon?
Take that!
This is the piece of evidence. What's maybe showing me that for? It doesn't seem to add anything to conversation. Oh, I don't get what you're trying to say with that, or do you just like showing off?
Are you gonna give that to me, mister?
I don't feel like the court needs to enter that court record this time. Ugh. What is wrong with everyone? Why are they all teasing me all of a sudden? Because Edgeworth, you're such an easy target. Well, there was possible that perhaps I made a mistake, and that's why. Now, the record will pick account. Detective Gumshoe lied for Kay's sake. And I know I hold the evidence which shows the reason why. What piece of evidence proves that Detective Gumshoe was lying on account of Kay? Maybe so she won't break her promises?
Take that!
Mr. Faraday and Kay's promise notebook. How does this explain anything? If you could take a look at this page, it's clearly written that Kay should never take things from a stranger. When Detective Gumshoe heard about the promise, he tried to cover it for Kay.
What a foolishly foolish fool's fool of a foolish reason to be for a fool.
He was respecting a kid more than you. What is this?
Gummy, you lied because of me, didn't you?
Because I'm your friend, Kay, that's why.
Gummy!
At long last, Detective Gumshoe, can you please tell me the whole truth now? Yes, there's no beating you, huh, pal? Okay, I'll spill the goods. I've been standing guard for a while. I was getting really hungry, so that snack vending machine was taunting me. But all the cash you had on you was $5, and that wasn't enough to buy anything, right? After all, the cheapest item in the machine is a $6 pack of Swiss rolls. The logic of that vending machine absolutely baffles me. Also, I'm gonna change the title of the stream info. Edgeworth. There we go. Now it's accurate. He's acting as a tissue dispenser. Yeah, but then, like an angel from heaven, Kay showed up.
I was thinking about sharing a snack with Daddy, so I wanted to buy a Swiss roll. But I only had $1 in coins.
So we pulled our 5 and 1 of her together, and bought a pack of Swiss rolls together.
And I was worried about breaking some of my promises. So then Gummy said,
Mr. Faraday's one scary guy when he gets mad. But don't worry, you won't get in trouble if you don't tell, right? Besides, you brought it with me. So it doesn't really get it for me, you know.
he told me it'd be okay. And he gave me a whole roll to save and give to Daddy.
Who knew that Scruffy could be... Who knew that Scruffy could be so considerate? Yeah, it's like one of his key character traits.
Indeed. Detective, I take it that you then sat down on the bench and ate the rolls together?
Yeah, we split the other roll and ate it right then. There's the sweet taste of the cake's chocolate. I'll never forget as long as I live, pal. Anyway. Okay, I believe this also belongs to you.
Oh, that's where the balloon I popped.
It's bad manners to leave garbage around, Kay.
I'm sorry.
Well, I guess I can't blame you for not throwing this one piece away. It was sitting high up in the windowsill where you couldn't see it. So just this once, I forgive you. But that
Balloon. I wanted to surprise Gummy a little, so I popped it on purpose. And because of it, Gummy dropped his half of the Swiss roll.
You really got me there, pal.
No, he was about to eat. Okay.
So I thought maybe I should give Gummy this other roll. And then I saw you picking on Gummy, mister.
So you kicked me and is that it?
You sure are a feisty one.
I'm really sorry, mister.
It's alright, I'm perfectly unharmed. But about this Swiss roll, would it be alright with you if I held on to it until Detective Gumshoe is cleared of all charges and free to go?
Yeah, sure. Just make sure you give it to Gummy afterwards, okay?
Of course, I promise. Now then, I believe we have proven beyond the shadow of a doubt. Detective Gumshoe was in the hallway for the entire duration of his duty, which undeniably proves that Detective Gumshoe could not have committed the double murders.
Objection!
There she is again! It's you. Actually, it proves just the opposite, Edgeworth. You've just shown that Detective Gumshoe is the only one who could have committed the crime. What do you mean? It's quite rude to eavesdrop, monsieur. I'm getting lectured on in manners by a girl with a penchant for whipping people. What? How dare you talk back with such insolence?
You're wrong, lady! Gummy's not the bad guy!
Oh, and what do we have here? What is a child doing here in the courthouse? Melee, please take this child away. Oh, she is very deliberate, ain't she? Oh, is Miss Callisto you? That girl is Mr. Faraday's. I know. So what? You think that just because she's the victim's daughter, she gets to just run wild around the crime scene? I think it's actually quite dangerous for her to speak nothing of getting on her foot. Well, I suppose you're right, however. As long as we're in agreement, on that point, let's get back to the real issue at hand. Now then, Detective, you were in front of the door in lobby number 2 the entire time, correct? Yeah, but... You see, isn't it obvious that only he could be... You see, isn't it obvious that it could only be the detective? He's the only person who could have gotten to lobby number 2 at the time of the murders. I've no counter-argument to that. Don't worry, I already put in the necessary paperwork for his formal arrest. She is definitely suspicious. But the investigation is far from over. One sec, I see someone send me a message. Oh, that's right. I was going to speak to you with you about that. Don't you think it's reckless to talk to the suspect out in the open without a guard? Ugh, I suppose it is. Well, as someone with more experience in law than you, allow me to share something. Always keep a good eye on a criminal, or you may regret what comes of your negligence. Ooh. Miles, I can't believe you're letting this woman lecture you like this. This is unforgivable as a disciple of Von Karma. I do not support this kind of woman's wrong. Down, Tigress. Now then, I'll be looking forward to the results of your investigation. So, we're back to square one. Actually, this is our last chance. I can't tell it if we fail to solve this case. Detective Gumshoe will be formally charged under all the circumstantial evidence. This investigation is not over yet. There's still one location we have yet to inspect. It's where Detective Badmus you were at the time of the crime. Lobby number 1. And the mystery continues. So this case has been going, this part has been going, quicker than last stream, but I also took more breaks back, like, last stream. Oh, Kay is here. Running away from the guards. Like a classic thief. What is this incredibly overpowering sweet scent? It smells like flowers.
Uncle Bad, is this it?
Isn't it Detective Bad and Kay over there?
It looks like
she managed to escape the bailiff. No, that's not quite it.
Aw, too bad, but it's so pretty.
I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it.
Thanks, I'll treasure it always.
You seem to be getting along rather well. Gamercore, look, it's your favorite character, Detective Bad. Oh, here, I got something else for you.
Yay! Thank you, Uncle Bad!
Look at her. She's chomping on it. It looks like dorayaki, actually. I wanna check something. Is it dorayaki in Trial of Reminiscence? Because again, I'm looking at this and let's see. It could be Swiss rolls. Maybe it's no, I don't see anything. It probably is a Swiss roll. These things do exist in Japan. I actually had dorayaki a while back. It's pretty yummy. It's basically 2 pancakes with a filling inside. Or like a variant of that. He's not my fave, he's just better than Lang, and you were disappointed by Lang. It's true. Yeah, your fave is a character in Case 2. I mean, in Game 2. We'll get to him. I think he's better by Lang by proxy that he's less of a bully. Correct. Yep, we'll be getting to him. We're almost done with this game. I mean, not almost done. Case 5 is pretty long, according to my, from what I remember. Gummy. Oh, you mean Gumshoe.
Gummy is...
No, she's sad! No! Oh, I'm so upset.
He was trying to be nice to me because I was gonna get in trouble. And then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. Mommy. I know he didn't kill Daddy!
Her sprites, there's a whole Mega Man song about how long Case 5 is. I know that one! It's, I'm gonna put it in chat. The name, I think it's... I cannot defeat Tree Man. It's absolutely is a classic in the Ace Attorney, Is this a new one? Yeah. My laptop is currently on mute. I'm just looking for something very specific. It's called, I Can't Defeat Tree Man 2015. I'm also gonna write this in the chat so you guys will be able to see it. I remember I Can't Defeat Tree Man. It's a really good video. In general, Maximum Volti, like his videos in Ace Attorney are just really, really good. He also made a video called,
like 4 years ago, when it's Kay getting smacked by an elephant for 10 minutes straight. That's so cruel, though. Yeah, there's a bunch of Oh, and he also has his old stuff archived, which is nice. I used to follow his videos back in the day. I also want to see if his kangaroo court video is on, because I love that video. It's like, these are videos from a very, very long time. He also made a series called Ace Idiot, but I have not seen that one. It's like an abridged version. What I'm looking for specifically is, wait. It's a Kangaroo Court from 2014. I really like that one. It's such a good version of the... Speaking of fanworks, have you seen the Random Encounters Ace Attorney musical? I have not, and I should. I know there's like 2 Ace Attorney musicals, and there is one that like had like a full song production, and like I never got around to it. In general, there's a lot of supplementary Ace Attorney media that I just did not see. Or read, in this case. They tend to be kind of hit or miss, but I read the musical. The Japanese musicals are pretty funny. There's some really funny gifts from there. Foolish Fools and The Right is Wrong are both good. I see. Random Encounters Ace Attorney musical. I'm gonna Random Encounters Phoenix Wright. I also know there's a Turnabout musical from back in the day. Yeah, this isn't the original Ace Attorney musical. There's like 2 fan musicals for Ace Attorney. I think that's wild. Just a bunch of musical content. Anyways, let's continue. Oh, she's still eating her Swiss roll. Don't cry. Faraday would be sad if he saw you crying.
I'm not crying!
I mean, you were just crying. We saw it pretty obviously. Okay.
Oh, it's the mister from before and the lady too.
Don't you think it would be a good idea for you to go home for the time being? You're not involved in this investigation, so it's for the best if you do.
Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant. So I'm related to the investigation.
Is that so, Detective Bad? Yeah, I guess. What? You are just scolding us like kids if you do not mess up with the crime scene. Now you let this child run free. Why? People are free to investigate things outside of the actual crime scene. You also had a few things you wanted to look into. Got a problem with that? I mean, we do have things to look into. I meant you. Ugh. I don't think I have a problem with that, but I am curious as to what Miss Hugh is looking into.
Uncle Bad, I'm going to look for somewhere else now, okay?
Alright, counting on you.
Oh, that's right! Hey, mister!
Huh? Yes, what is it?
I know Gummy really isn't the bad guy. I mean it. So please, find the real bad guy, okay?
You would forgive whoever did this. But in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there is no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. She wandered off while I was pondering. She still has the perfume. I'm guessing the only thing we have right now... Oh, let's examine the plant. The decorative plant's leaves are shinier than the ones on the plant in lobby number 2. That's probably because it's next to the windows, but it's easier to photosynthesize. You may be right, plus the curtains are always drawn in lobby number 2.
The caretakers of this courthouse don't think enough about the plants, do they? That's because they're the courthouse's caretakers, not a bunch of botanists. That expensive painting is ill-suited to be hanging out in the wall of this room. I wonder if a guard detail should be placed on it. Why do you say that? Well, a desperate Lloyd a detective might. Planned girl Franny. Franziska is a Planned Parent. And I don't even think like she takes care of like cactuses, which are both her own little garden. And she probably has her own tiny garden where she grows herbs and the like. I like the way you're thinking, Gamercore. She may be thinking about hiring a guard. But it's obvious she's factoring in the guard's salary whatsoever. I mean, who said the guard was gonna be paid? This television is the same model as the defendant lobby number 2. Looks like the 2 rooms are basically the same in terms of layout and supplies. Yes. The 2 rooms are basically the same, huh? Let's talk to Detective Dad. Detective Dad, what exactly was Kay searching for? Nothing that concerns you, boy. Or Miss You. I meant you this time. Oh, and I suppose it has something to do with Kay. Yes, it does, because she's Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. I don't have time to waste. Sounds like he'd rather be left alone. I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again. I don't have anything to say to you. But be it as it may, we still have questions we need answers to. That design is so badass, though, all the bullet holes on the black shirt. His design is great, I like it. It really... He has such a distinct design. Without being overly detailed, which is something I really like. The black shirt, the bullet holes, the black shirt, the white tie. My only issue here is that, like, in the shirt, I think they could have made the straps a little darker. Because they blend in terms of values, but it's a nitpick. I mean, one of the things I like about Tatsuro Iwamoto is that they're distinct without being overly detailed. Like, you see that with Method from Karma, you see that with Kay. You see that with, you see it with Edgeworth. Like, his silhouette is pretty simple and really helps to tie it down. Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate. So, like, the designs are pretty distinct. I feel like I'm not looking at just some generic detective. And because he is the only character in the game that looks the way he does, it helps out. It's something like in gacha games. Mostly a lot of MiHoYo's games, I have a tendency to dislike. Wuthering Waves also has that issue, just a lot of gacha games where it feels like the people they're getting to design the characters are illustrators and not character designers. And I'm not trying to throw shade against illustrators. I do illustration work myself, but character design, be it for animation, be it for anything else, is a craft where knowing what accessories to keep and which accessories to not have is a pretty important thing. It's like, for example, one of the designs that the fandom doesn't really like. Because we're in this conversation, I know we're mid interrogation, but it's better to have a costume artist than having a costume artist be the official character designer. Xenoblade 1 was, wait, it's better than having the costume artist be the official character designer.
I didn't know that. I really didn't know that Xenoblade 1's character designer was a costume artist. I actually like some of the designs on Xenoblade Chronicles. They're very JRPG-esque. And for example, one of my favorite characters is Melia. Melia's design, both in the original and Future Connected, are really pretty. But there is a lot going on there. I'm gonna look up like an example from Ace Attorney series, and I know she's an easy target, but she is a target nonetheless. She's also a character I keep seeing, like, dunked on, and part of it is on purpose, other is not. And I see a lot of people redesigning her all the time. Oh my god, it failed to open the file. This is my soapbox. Okay, so I'm going to yeah, Xenoblade didn't have character designers, and the cast lacked official art until the definitive edition. The original game had a costume designer draw the art. Said artist did not work on Final Fantasy. Did work on Final Fantasy Tactics though. I'm gonna look at the character designs soon. Like, for example, there is a lot going on here. That is absolutely true. Like, the original costume design, there is just a bunch of stuff here. A lot of details. Let's look at Shulk. At my boy Shulk. It's like, when you look at it in closer inspections, his design is just an absolute... These pants! My boy rocked some of the ugliest pants known to man, but he did it with pride. I know that, like... Okay, back to an example from Ace Attorney that is controversial. And source. Add new source instead. Image. And source. And I want to add this character. Here we go. It's Athena. So Athena Sykes is a character that is pretty controversial in the Ace Attorney fandom. And I think that even though she went through a lot of character designs, like, there is a lot of iterations of Athena's older character design. She's like, you have like 5 pages of like different versions you had of her, like in the concept art. And like her, it's mostly the fact that her shirt is untucked, the skirts, the ugly yellow. A lot of people are like, oh, the ponytail makes no sense. I think the ponytail is fine, but it just kind of like there's the girl is over accessorizing, and like for Ace Attorney, and like I can think of worse versions. I can think of a bunch of like gacha games that have that issue. And like some and like I know that like Yusuke Kozaki, the artist for the Somnium Files and a bunch of them, he also has a habit of giving his characters a lot of stuff around, but I think that like he gets away with it. With Athena, it's just it's the untucked shirt. It just doesn't really give it just doesn't really give professional, and it also doesn't help And it also doesn't help that her attorney's badge is barely visible. And I don't know, it's like this kind of reflects her backstory of like her parents were researchers in a space station or like that. But I don't know, it doesn't really read as psychologist, it doesn't really read as this. She has a necklace and a tie, which is really out of place. And I think like necklace, choker and tie can work in some cases. I know that like with Rhodia from Limbus Company. Oh shit, my earring fell. I hate it! No! It's always the same damn earring. I don't... I'll switch for it later, but man, that stinks. Anyways, I'm gonna kick Athena off my stream. The tie has to hang so low, so the next is taking up the space. Yeah. It's decisions were made. Decisions were absolutely made with this character. It just doesn't really work. Anyways, I'm gonna remove the image and we'll be continuing the game. I can't believe my earring fell out. That sucks. I hope I'll be able to find it because usually it falls like in the area, but I don't know. I'll have to look up. I'll have to look for it. Anyways, next. Upon entering the room, I thought I was going to suffocate. It's that ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice and opened the window, but that smell's still here. Perfume, huh? So that sweet scent in the air is perfume. Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet it's some cheap no-name brand. She said it's a famous brand from overseas. It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff. No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Here, little girl, you can have it. I was born for a much more expensive and refined perfume. However, seeing as you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it. Miles Edgeworth, you will hold on to this bottle without fail. Like, Franziska gives, like, she... This one little bottle went through three people. Ugh. Why can't she ever be honest about what she wants? Angel. I don't think we saw the brand of the perfume like back in the game. Angel. So now we have perfume. The perfumist wears. Just fantastic. Is that all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigating. Actually, I still have a few other things I wish to inquire about. Let's talk to him during the recess. So you were in this room the entire recess. Women's outfits usually don't have pockets. It's true. Maybe that's the reason. Not even Franziska's jacket or riding crop. She has pocketless behavior, so the purse economy can thrive. This is all big. This is big purse conspiracy. Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end here. At least your story is consistent. Earlier, you stated that you were in the lobby with Miss Yu. Who needs a purse worth his bag, bitch? Yeah. He absolutely is bag, bitch. Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something. We came in here. Then, what you're saying is that until Detective Gunter's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in two different locations. Yes, I am. Interesting. Speaking of that, lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you. Oof.
Let's see, Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG8 incident. And I recall Detective Bad was the lead detective on that case. I wonder if the reason her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard her, Cece, but because you were the lead detective on that case.
You knew?
I also know that today's trial involved the Condoropian Embassy staff member. Is being referred to as the second KG8 incident. Ugh. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me. And tell me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday. And the KG8 incident. If you already know that much, I guess it'll be alright to tell you. Now then, I believe I'd ask you a few questions about the KG8 incident. It's not exactly a happy story. I mean, yeah, it's a murder. Other than that, people who are directly involved. You know, you two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell. The honest truth behind the KG8 incident. And the truth that he has not been smoking inside the court. I like that I like Bad because he has this funny quirk where, like, he doesn't have a lollipop. Like, he's not smoking and he doesn't have a gun. He has at least, he's not threatening with a gun. He has a lollipop and a mirror. Faraday, you and I. Me? You know who I mean. As you already know, that we three are involved with the KG8 incident. Sanji 4 Kids Censorship be like, perhaps. Faraday and I were originally on the trail for the smuggling ring. You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Mono Group secretaries? That trial was just a front.
A facade?
Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed. And what became of the secretary who was arrested? His name was Colin de Viray. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring. But he confessed to knowing about it anyway. De Viray was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat. The boss man of the Amano Group. You can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. Well, he does. That can't be right. It's probably just a Detective Bad's personal hypothesis. Oh, the Delulu pills that a man is taking. What is he trying to do? Suspecting Mr. Amano of being involved with smuggling. I suppose it would be quite difficult to secure a acquittal letter after he confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Mary Colchin, was a completely different person. But since he already been acquitted once of her murder, Mr. Faraday, how could you let him go? If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, Cece. I was supposed to protect them both. Miss Yu did mention that as well. But how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister. But even I was supposed to protect them. I fell into their trap. What kind of trap? The holes in the jacket are a testament to that trap. You mean you were fired upon? You were shot at that many times at one gunfight? No. Only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG8 incident. I see. I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall, as far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came into the courtroom, the victim's sister. And that was when I first met Callisto Yu. That when we first met Miss Yu, It was on the day of the verdict the KG8 incident was handed down, was it not? Yes, Faraday and I, we apologize to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but... Just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. And then gave me a hard slap across the face. Very in character for Callisto, you? Well, she suddenly has a lot of self-control to stop it just a slap. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough. I suppose not. You said it herself. That she never wanted to see either of us ever again. But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct? Yeah, Faraday and I, even after the KG8 incident has come to a close. We continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find a real mastermind behind the ring. Is the ring really that big? It was in pursuit of the one ring. We met you once again. I mean, you're also meeting me You're also meeting me again. I mean, you know who I meant. These jokes are just too easy. He keeps calling her Hugh instead of Miss Hugh. Which I just realized sounds like Miss You. It was during another trial, related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor and I, the lead detective, took the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney. Her client was related to the smuggling ring and she was defending them. Yeah. Look at how angry, Bernie. Is it Bernie? How do you pronounce his name? Is it Byron Faraday? Byron Faraday. It's like, how do you pronounce this? Like Byron? It's such a white name, to be honest. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a character named Byron Faraday. Byron. Let's call him Byron then. Byrne. You was pursuing the ring as best as she could as the lawyer. I think she defended Relta this time for the same reason. Come to think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect. I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG8 incident, alright? And for that, you have no single Cuomo defending a known killer. Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rell has to be his lawyer. Again, very simple design. The dark shirt helps to show that like she's more cold. It kind of goes in contrast to Phoenix Wright. I love the scale earrings. They're so nice, and the hair. I also think she has very distinct facial features. The freckles and the plump lips help to give her more of a personality. I had no intention of covering for him, ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. Her ears are also kind of pointy. It doesn't matter what her reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable. You're so naive, little girl. I could have stolen that lollipop from you. That's how naive you are. How dare you insult the daughter of Von Karma? Just like us, you felt that she had hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all. The law is merely a tool. There's no limit to it. Learn the skill of the craftsman. You two are still too young. But one day you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all. Let's talk to Faraday. So, what is your relation to Mr. Faraday? You ever seem to know what... You even seem to know Kay fairly well. I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together. But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagarasu case. Did we touch a nerve? I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatagarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial. To prove that Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. Which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. Of that accusation I was asked to testify, but this time, to prove it or disapprove the accusation. And I guess I won't be doing that either. I sense that there is more to this statement meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into Yatagarasu is what's necessary. Let's talk to Yatagarasu. You claim to know much about Yatagarasu. Would you care to share with us what you know with me? What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rel. I agree, which is exactly why I'm asking you about the Yatagarasu. What? The KG8 incident and the second KG8 case. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring. And in both these cases, the witness who was testifying about the ring was murdered. However, there is one point in which they differ, and that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yatagarasu. Mr. Rel claimed to be the Yatagarasu, however, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared that Mr. Faraday was the real Yatagarasu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least a bit odd?
Miles Edgeworth, stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already!
I believe there must be some reason to that. The two men suspected of being the Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time. A reason, huh? And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday and Mr. Red's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu. If it will help you solve this case. But first, then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yatagarasu.
What was that a sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident.
Ugh! That was not accident, Franziska. You were just holding yourself back. It still accidentally whipped me anyway. There are three main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever. I see. And those are the Yatagarasu's special traits.
Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief.
The Yatagarasu has never been caught on tape, and never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's how I knew that Rel wasn't a real Yatagarasu right away.
But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't.
Listen, little girl, I'm not done talking yet.
Yes.
What's different about this time was the evidence related to the smuggling ring. It was sent to the police, and the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kondopian embassy, the Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu sent the evidence. Until now, the Yatagarasu would only publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others knew about. In that case, how could he be so sure it was this Yatagarasu sent it? That's easy. A special card was only in the Yatagarasu uses was attached. That's how I could be so sure. And just what sort of card was it? Here, take a look at this article. Whenever the Atagarasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. Do you guys think the Atagarasu leaked the Pokemon, the new Pokemon leaks? Do you think the Atagarasu leaked the Typhlosion lore? I'm going to stop. This is probably gonna date this video by a lot. Rel had no idea what it was. Oh. That's how Detective Bad knew that Mr. Rel was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Atagarasu now. Huh. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? His Honor would like to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. So if you could please head over to the courtroom, it would be much appreciated, sir. Understood. I'll be there shortly. Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you? Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive. I think the shortcomings of the law is a big theme in the Ace Attorney series. I mean, that's why the Atagarasu exists. I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself. And to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty. I really like this scene, it was really nice. September 10th, courtroom numero tres. Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. Ugh. It appears that His Honor is still a bit dispirited. For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. Now I know to have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony. Well, there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict. That's pretty sus, Franziska. Franziska, there is no need to further depress His Honor. But I'm not trying to, Miles. Your Honor... Your Honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Your Honor? The evidence. Your Honor! Oh! You! Yes, can I help you? I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir. Your Honor, do you think you can stay focused for long enough at least to do your job? Yes, I'm sorry. And I would accept that the defense attorney has yet to arrive. She's busy with the investigation, so let's keep this brief, shall we? Very well. In that case, please confirm to me that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel are also included, so please go ahead and use them to investigation into their case. Understood, Your Honor. The piece of evidence that we used in the murder of these two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding your case. And maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth. I place all the evidence at the prosecutor's bench for you. I see. Thank you very much. I will also go confirm that they are all accounted for. So this is the evidence related to today's Condopian Embassy trial for Mr. Faraday's bag. You mean the evidence bag that was on the table at lobby number 2, right? Yes, finally we can take a look at the evidence itself and not just the data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time. Agreed. I want to take a good look at all the evidence from the embassy murder too. Why is that? Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about! Well, don't point your crop at me just because you don't know something. And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today! Oh, I love these two so much. A menace to society, both of them. I see someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma. can say that again. It's also rare to see the knife up close. So we have the knife, the gun, and envelope. And what's this organizer doing here? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot to tell you. About what, Your Honor? I found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Dad requested it to be passed along to you. He said it would help the investigation. Detective Dad said that. What a strange stroke of luck. Well, never took him for a great gift. Never look a gift horse in the mouth. We might as well flip through it too. One person. Okay, and then he's saying his catchphrase. Let's look at the organizer first. I mean, the file. I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started. Really, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it. I suppose I should explain to you then. Welcome to the stream. We're currently streaming Ace Attorney, Case 4. Turtle Reminiscence. I'm really enjoying this one so far. It's a lot of fun. Yes, you should. Perfectly in its entirety, if you please. On the night of September 8th, the embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mackerel was brought into that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, which he was arrested on the spot. A simpleton of a man, that's what he was. Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Rell was caught in the act on film by a security camera. He was an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I couldn't believe he didn't notice the security camera. The Condopian Embassy's security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not have been aware that there was a camera in the area. So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself? Yes, the surveillance video and the security camera took was played during the trial of Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Farrell on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear. So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I've ever wanted to see the moment of someone's death in real life. Me neither. Too late, Edgeworth. Too fucking late. This gun, it was originally used to kill a Condopian Embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest. And then, the gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic. Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence. Let's examine the knife. It's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. Who would have thought that this such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act? It never crossed your mind to use your riding crop for the wrong purpose? It's being used for the right purpose, Edgeworth. You sometimes deserve to be whipped. Mr. Faraday's organizer. It appears he was in the habit of using it. It looks like he wrote his strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down in here. I've collected the evidence I need to prove Mr. Rell was a killer. Between the handgun and I should be able to prove that he was the one. It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Rell was the killer in this case. The sound of the handgun. I also have evidence, and it would appear that he had proof that Mr. Rell was not the Yatagarasu. And apparently he had a very definitive piece of evidence. Yes, I believe Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rell may have had about being the real Yatagarasu. And Manfred and Carmel was just dissing that man. Honestly, but Byron absolutely did Faradad did absolutely nothing wrong. And he had a way to prove that Mr. Rell was the guilty party in the MC murder. This organizer is a clue straight for Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later. Look, there's a picture stuck between these pages here. It appears to be a key. Rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle. The craftsmanship here is superb. Could this be the Atagarasu key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer?
The Atagarasu's key.
Detective Bad said something earlier. What different about this time was that the evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kondopian embassy. The Atagarasu.
The Atagarasu sent the evidence.
Until now, the Atagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and a select few others knew about it.
Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep this secret safe. As for the prosecutor on both the Atagarasu and smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected.
That's odd.
What is it?
Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer.
That certainly is odd.
The weapon that was used to kill the Kondopian embassy staff member was the gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife that was supposed to murder Mr. Faraday come from?
Isn't it obvious? It was brought into courthouse by Mr. Rell. That's the only logical conclusion, right?
No, because it's not easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person enters the courthouse is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside.
In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended up in the courthouse?
I need to think carefully here. There is nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there is one item listed at Mr. Faraday's organizer no one is claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at the evidence.
Mine's Edgeworth. Can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me?
To mean that you don't have an answer for me? Actually, I know the answer, Francisco.
What? Then what is it?
One of the pieces of evidence we're looking for has been hoarding a secret of its own. And it was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought to the courthouse.
Take that!
I don't see how it answers my question at all.
Every piece of evidence has some secretive aspect about it.
Oh, then I demand to know what the secret to this one.
Alright, maybe there's no secret to this one. Wrong evidence. At least I didn't get penalized. At least I didn't get a penalty.
Take that!
This Yatagarasu's key was Faraday mentions his own organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse.
You're not making any sense, Ms. Edgeworth.
You just need to look a bit closer, Francisco, to see what I mean. Don't the color and the imitation of the key's hand will remind you of something.
Did you remind me of the knife?
Very good. Both the Atagarasu's key and the photo in the murder's knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Atagarasu's key, the only object we found on the crime scene was the knife.
You don't seriously mean to say...
It appears that you finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say these two pieces are in fact one and the same.
But that's impossible!
Even if that was what you believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife in a little more detail. Oh, this one has a silver tip, and this one has a golden tip. Ah, that's so clever.
I can't believe it turned into a key. To think there was such a trick to this thing.
So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key to the Autogrossus stone. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now.
Indeed it is. Frankly, I'm shocked. Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece in this organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea that he was hiding a knife blade inside. But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key and knife could have killed Mr. Faraday. Even on law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday. Meaning that the only person it could have had be is the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief Yatagarasu. Then Mr. really was Yatagarasu. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario? No, not really. Especially because Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, as Detective Bad said earlier, but when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white car, Rel had no idea what it was. I see. Alright, then I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else, and that person is the real Yatagarasu. It seems this key is truly the key to unlocking this, solving this case. I was about to say unlock. That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. And that piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court. The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? The video is showing the moment at which Mr. Rel committed murder. Where could it have gone indeed? Are you done with your inspection of the evidence? Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I'm missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence. Your Honor? Were you really derelict in your duties? What? No, I dare not lick my duties. What do you take me for? No, Your Honor, the most important piece of evidence to today's trial. The surveillance video is not amongst the video you laid out for me. But I brought Mr. Faraday the whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere in the crime scene. There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear to me that to find the answers I seek, I would have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime, defendant lobby number 2. Hey look, it's our boy. Our disappointment of a rival. What's he doing here? That's Detective Bad. But who is he with? I've never seen that officer before. So did you find it? No, not yet. And I've looked everywhere. I see. Well then, please continue with the search. Understood. I'll continue the search. So you're the one running the show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't even be allowed in crime scenes. How dare you? Just who do you think you are? And there he walks away. All barks, no bite. What was that all about? And who was that man just now? Whoever he was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life. Does he even know we're standing right here behind him? I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids? I mean, he has a mirror, you guys. It looks like you were paying attention after all. Of course I was. I have eyes in the back of my head. Ah, so the mirror isn't just for vanity's sake. It's for keeping him an eye out for what's behind him on all times. What a cool character. So tell me, Detective Bad, who was the rude man just now? The guy came here from the Republic of Jianfa to study. He's Agent Long. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of entertainment from scratch. Like visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication. He's still just a rookie cop,
but I sense a strong grudge of some sort with him.
Yeah, very much so.
The guys are useful to the Gumshoe, even if he is rude.
To be fair, this version of Gumshoe is pretty useless. I'm really surprised how he passed the bar. Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time.
I agree. However, I think of one young lady that statement also applies to.
But she's in deep denial.
Anyway, what was the agent looking for, Detective Bad?
Earlier, that little girl was poking around in lobby number 1 as well.
Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you.
I highly doubt that.
It has nothing to do with me.
Everything is related to me.
Fine, if this is the game I must play, then I will take this opportunity
To draw out what he has been hiding from to happen in this room straight from him. That is one tiny TV.
Detective Gumshoe was rather shocked at this and said it was huge compared to his own.
Anything you compare with something he owns will always seem grandiose.
Speaking of grandiose, I'd say the ego of yours could use a little deflating.
Ooh.
Earlier, we're in lobby number 1, and now you're in lobby here number 2. You're quite busy man, Detective Bad. Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say. I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked what happened again, correct? I don't have anything left to say to you, boy.
Boy, you'll see. I'll draw my answer from you, one way or another. Would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation?
We have Faraday's notebook for the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think?
Ugh. Please, we're asking you for just a bit more of your cooperation.
Don't push me, kid. I'd like to ask once again what happened around here at the time of the crime. I refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about?
Things you don't know about? But aren't you supposed to know everything?
You should. Wait, is this possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind the piece of evidence. I should try showing it to him. It may prove that the key to getting some answer from Detective Bad. Let's show him we're in the loop. Detective Bad, did you know that the existence of this item in this photograph? Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasi case. In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife was killed Mr. Faraday and used Yatagarasi's key? Are one and the same.
What? That's impossible!
It looks like you didn't know after all. This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarasi's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagarasi key. To prove that Mr. Vell was the real Yatagarasi. Not the real Yatagarasi. Is that correct? I guess so. However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was, in fact, a knife. Well, I have to admit, neither one of us knew that fact. If neither one of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How do we miss something as big as this? I noticed that since a while ago you appear to be searching for something. I presume this key is what you've been searching for. Yeah, that's right. And why was searching for it? Because I promised Faraday. I promised that I'd protect that key with my life. And after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life? Detective Bad. So that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more. All right. But it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing will change.
Yeah, at least we got him to yap.
I think we'll finish talking with Bad and then we'll call out the stream. I have some stuff I need to prepare for tomorrow's con. Detective Bad, I ask that you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1. My answer is still the same. And this is the last time I'm going to do this. That's fine because I only need this one last time to clear everything up and find the truth behind this case. Oh, right, we're doing a cross-examination. I was in lobby number 1, talking with you. I'm not gonna make the joke, I made it too many times this stream. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out to the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and we all ran into lobby number 2. Okay. It sounds like the exact same story he told us before.
Indeed. However, I feel that we have yet to draw out all the information we can.
Hold it!
Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything that was out of the ordinary? I didn't hear about any other strange sounds until that gunshot. If the gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder, that would give another piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I ask that you please amend your testimony with that statement just now. Sure. I didn't do any other strange sounds until that gunshot. Not even the popping sound?
Objection!
Okay. Oh, it is the balloon popping. Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything? It's the same color as the one Kay was holding. Oh, so you knew about the girl's balloon? Yeah, I was sitting with her up until the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled the balloon up for her. Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon. So, what about the balloon? I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point. What are you getting at? This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping off that the judge mistook for a gunshot. Oh, so that sound was the judge heard, not an actually gunshot, huh? On top of that, his honor said that he held the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was about to reconvene. Yes, which means his honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway when you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad. And if you were in lobby number 1 at the time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well. So? Well, don't give me a so. We just proved that there was not a flaw in your testimony. The crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivete cracking. Oh boy. And since you kids didn't seem to know, here, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem so rugged? That's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked.
Hold it! What is that supposed to mean?
The doors and the walls are super thick. The window panes are double layered. To top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material. Then you mean... Since I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard that sound. No! Ugh. I knew that's what he was going to say. And that means that Scruffface's testimony is completely useless. If the rooms are soundproofed, then of course he wouldn't hear any sign of struggle. No! That's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping. Now do you get it, kids?
Miles, I thought we were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic.
That's what you can't spell badass without bad. That was pretty badass of him.
Not the other way around!
The other way around. It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if you were one word lobby number 1. However, if we examine the situation reverse, a person standing in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either. And yet, Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad, if that was the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot? What do you mean, how? I just did. It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words. Oh, how so? If the rooms are soundproof as they say they are, then how did you find the sound of the gunshot enter your ears? I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it. From Faraday's murder than I thought.
Which means exactly what, Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to?
It boils down to this. There must be a reason. As for how Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot that theoretically couldn't have.
It looks like we need to examine the state of a crime scene again, huh?
State of the crime scene.
Wait, can it be?
It's that awful strong perfume he wears. She spilled some of it.
Ugh. And way too noisy. The surveillance video. How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? Where did it go indeed?
One sec. It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through barred windows. And yet, the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely with these open barred windows. Now then, what else besides smell can go both in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound. So no matter how careful the killer is, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of the gunshot could have been heard in both locations. It got a window opportunity. And now we connect the final dots. The missing piece of evidence is a video that shows the moment in which Mr. Rail killed the embassy staff member. The sound of a gunshot left quite an impression of me when I first played the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess and brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, then it's possible the tape is still here in this room. Eureka! The evidence is missing. The evidence that the missing evidence created for me is the gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place.
Miles, what have you been thinking about? Stop wasting time in thinking, and let's start looking for again.
It's not a waste of time to think. I figured out where we should look.
And where would that be?
I believe we should examine the television. The TV. Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like. Okay. What Reston should have inspected is every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Well, let's examine the TV. It's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside.
It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end.
This tape, could it not be the missing surveillance tape?
I suppose, but...
Detective Bad, would it be alright with you if we verify the contents of the video? Sure. Knock yourselves out.
Alright, let's rewind and see what we have.
If I remember correctly, the footage of Rel killing the embassy staff member should be about 30 minutes mark for the start of the tape. Understood. This should be about right. Now then, let's see.
This is the footage Mr. Rel is shooting the embassy staff member.
I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, surveillance video, was here all along. The sound. What's the meaning of this? It appears that Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind the double murder. Do you think you've figured it out all... Them? Yes, all I have to do now is show what the gunshot Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from. Ugh, fine. In that case, show me what you've deduced. Show what the gunshot Detectives Bad heard was, and through where they heard it from. If the door and windows to the crime scene, namely the room we're in, were closed, the killer would have used the gun and no one would have been the wiser. It's true, the courthouse doors seem to be well designed for such a thing as it fell. However, what happens in reality was, Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, Miss You, all three of them heard the gunshot. Well, the windows in lobby number 1 and 2 in the hallway were open. So naturally, the people in those locations would hear it. Ah, but then, why would the criminal open the window in the first place? To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose. Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this. But why was that necessary in the first place? I want a real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction. Very well, I believe the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What was the killer wanting to manipulate our perception of? Well, I think when the murder took place, the killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes. And they used the gunshot of the surveillance video to do so. Honestly, I forgot about this moment entirely, and I remember the TV, I was like, oh, she used the tape. The culprit used the tape. So that's why the tape was left running. You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video? Yes, which means the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone must have had no alibi for that time period, and planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer. This was a really short investigation, huh? Mr. Edgeworth! Yes, what is it? Miss Yu is asking for you. She's in the courtroom. She says that she's identified the murderer, but she wants to clarify something. It looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something. Understood. Please tell her that I will be right over. Well, come along. I want to hear what she has to say. It would appear that the time have come to uncover the truth. And that time will have to come in next week. Because, it's getting late. I'm really having fun with this case. It's a lot... the dynamic between Edgeworth and... Hold on. The dynamic between Edgeworth and, Franziska is just a lot of fun to be observed. And I really like Detective Bad. I like, again, the only thing that's like a big flaw in this game and all of this is just Gumshoe has been completely dumbed down and flanderized. He's not that stupid. Clumsy, sure. Stubborn, yes. But not incompetent. I'm pretty sure this is like the same detective. Yeah. So it feels like a flaw in the entire game that they just took a character and just completely misunderstood him, so Edgeworth won't look smarter by default. But I did like his dynamic with Kay, and I liked how they comforted Kay, and it showed that even in his peak of Brad era, and the peak of his Von Karma-pilled, of being the most Von Karma-pilled that he is, at the very least he cares about children. And he has some empathy in his heart. So, that's all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream, because I was really enjoying this case as well. A lot of fun. This case especially holds up as well as I hoped it to be. And I had a lot of fun with it. And next week we will be finishing it. And maybe if we have time, go into the final case of the game. But until then, stay frosty and look forward to the future. I'll see you later.